we are, September 20th, 2019. We're just about 4 miles from the Canadian border, headed to Nipigon, and I'm going on a moose hunt here. And it's a really nice day. This is Lake Superior out here. It's got fog on it right now, but this is pretty scenic view right here. And as you pan down here at the camera, you can see how high we are compared to the trees. That's way down there. Like I say, that off in that shoreline back there is Lake Superior. And so we're off to our adventure. And this is I started coming up here in 2001. So what would that be? 2019, 18 years. I haven't come here every year, but I came here a heck of a lot of years. And I've been fortunate enough to come up here, and I shot 6 moose up here, bull moose, and 1 got away. But I've taken 5 bulls back home, and that's not bad in a 7-day hunt. So let's get after it and get across the border. Here's where we're at right now. The Susie Islands overlook. It's a beautiful view. Now they've got moose in the trees. Here we are at the border crossing, Grand Portage. Take Highway 61 out of Duluth all the way up here. Pretty simple to find. Believe it or not, this is one of the first times I've been up here and there was no road construction all the way up through here. So we go over, this is Pigeon River, and it takes about probably close to 9 hours to get up to here. Here we are, welcome to Ontario. And it's foggy. Moose hunt, 2019. That's why it's really important, if you're going to be a bow hunter or a hunter in general, you better get a passport, because if you end up wanting to go bear hunting or something on the spur of the moment, you're not going to go if you don't have a passport. So there's a lot more to bow hunting and hunting in general. You got to be responsible. So you're better off to, instead of buying, what do they call that, skin art, to invest in the money in a passport so you can actually go somewhere big game hunting. It's the very begins, Nipigon, Ontario, Canada. Well, here we are, Friday night, the 20th, up at camp, base camp. This is going to be our cabin for a week, gear, and we're way back. We're probably close to 25-30 miles off the highway on a 2-track. So we're back here in the bush. Beautiful lake setting. About 6 o'clock Friday night. Oh, look at this.
Right through the fucking yard.
Bobby, what are we looking at there?
There's moose tracks beside the house.
Right beside the house. Walk right up through here. It just rained up here, so that's fresh track. They got a nice little off-the-grid cabin up here. Here we are inside the main trapper shack.
Watch your head. You always got a duck when you go through that door.
Yeah, I can see that. That will get your attention.
I already racked my head once and started a week.
This is what big game hunting was supposed to be. You're definitely out of your realm, into a whole different geographical area, hunting a whole different animal, the Canadian bull moose. There's no food plots, no supplemental minerals dumped on the ground. You're going to hunt what nature gives you, and if you're blessed and lucky enough, you may harvest a bull. And if not, you may see a bull. But moose hunting is an entire different game than what a lot of people are pursuing today with the white-tailed deer. Here we are, first morning out. Beautiful morning, very little wind, little mist. We're sitting here in a makeshift ground blind, and the inflatable decoy is going up right now. It's about 20 yards from me. Bob calls that myrtle. Eventually it'll inflate, and it'll be out there, and I'm downwind of it, so hopefully the bulls will traverse right down through this ridge. The wind is coming straight into my face, straight out of the south. We got Myrtle, the decoy, set up over there. Bobby's about 50 yards from me doing the calling. And so now you can see the decoy completely inflated. Bob's back up there. Oh, he's banging those big rocks up there. There he is. So hopefully they'll come to the call and walk right past me. The same way you do in elk hunting. Put the collar, let the elk or the moose walk past you, and they'll focus on the call. And hopefully they'll have that visual and the audio. The audio is Bob calling, and the visual. So they got everything they want to see right there. So let's sit back and see how the morning unfolds. It's a perfect morning. Sunday morning. Well, it's the 22nd of September. We got the wind in our face, and we're set up the same place we were yesterday morning. We got the decoy up. This is a heavily traveled ridge right here. That's why we're sitting there. I'm downwind of the trail, and just have to sit back and heavily overcast sky. Rained yesterday, so we didn't have it last night. So sit back and we'll see what unfolds today in the moose bush. Yeah, as warm as it is, the bugs are really bad. That's why I got that thermocell strapped to my leg, because they are really flying. It's probably 70 degrees right now, and that's really, really warm. It's got them buzzing around like spring bear hunt. Back to the side-by-side. I want to talk to Bob for a second. I've seen two valuable things that a man ought to have when he comes up this big country. That GPS you got in your pocket is,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's...
Without that, you got a map and a compass, and you're exploring. And the map and the compass won't tell you where you are unless you know where you are. Versus your trail that you walked by yesterday. You know. Now I know we're a quarter mile apart there.
And the other thing that you all better have, I'm going to show you something. See your bow and your equipment? You better be able to carry that. Your physical condition is probably, as Bobby tell you, can't outwalk the client, but that physical condition is the most important because you're going to be carrying the pack, and if you really want to get with the program. So that modern day GPS plus physical fitness.
Some muscles.
Yeah. Cause,
Bring some muscles and some wind with you.
yep. Well.
Otherwise, we just sit on the Argo and call, and limited. You're very limited to what you can do.
And that brush has its own walking characteristics, and I guarantee you, unless you're born up here in it.
Because you can't see your feet.
Yeah, and you spend 99% of your time stumbling and bumbling, and that's carrying a pack. You better get in shape. I just want to emphasize that. You better be in as good a shape as you can and admit it to yourself at home, because when you get out on that bush, it's going to take its toll on you, and there's no two ways around it. But that's where the moose live, and that's where you want to get in. And like I say, my pack's probably close to 50 pounds, and you got your bow. You're packing quite a bit. So physical fitness, I'd say, would be number one. So that's the best asset you can have to help the guide. Sunday night, going in way back with the Argo.
Bull made this girl.
Okay, Sunday night. Me and little Donnie. There's Myrtle out there in the background. Got the wind blowing right into our face. And me and my little buddy, we're moose hunting. Just go get him, little buddy. Got little Donnie with me. In spirit. We're gonna kill Daddy Moose. Monday morning, the 23rd. Perfect morning. Here we go. Little Donnie's way up in the tree stand of Grandpa now. We way up there, little buddy. We'll get you moose if they come by. Yep, me and little Donnie are 20 feet closer to heaven. I know he's going to heaven, but Grandpa probably going the other way. But he's up here with me. I don't know how this is going to play out. The wind's blowing right in my face. So I'd be downwind of Bob. But I think he's blowing scent all the way across that field. Something comes from the east. Well, maybe it'll stay over here tight. I don't know how that's going to play out. the late Jay Massey voice still lives in the Moose Woods. There we are, we're right at 70 degrees. And I want to step around. I got in here just so I could get to this. It's probably warmer in spots. Anyhow, here's what we're faced with. Bright sun, dry dirt, lots of south winds. Winds blowing off that lake right into the camera. Yeah, as you can see, the lake, it's about a 20-mile-an-hour wind at least, and really, really warm. Like I say, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, about almost 80, and a good 25 Celsius, so it's warm. And the bulls just don't want to talk. Yeah, that's something you have to be prepared mentally on these out-of-state, out-of-country hunts, especially up north. You never know the weather pattern. I've been up here when it had 8 inches of snow, and now I'm walking around in shorts and tank tops. And when the snow was on the ground there 2003, the moose were moving. But far cry from snow today, so they're holding pretty tight. And I'll probably, unfortunately, do that throughout this week. Well, it's Tuesday night, about 15 after 5. Been awfully warm up here. Haven't heard one cow or one bull since Friday. But you got to remember that the weather is the main player. The venture's still there. The kill is, you got to make sure that that's second place, because to traverse through this terrain, different plant life, trails, unphenomenal, up a hill, down a hill. That's the adventure. You're not going to get shortchanged on that. And you're not necessarily going to get shortchanged on kill. But do not make the kill your sole priority. Now, I know in the so-called whitetail guru world, they all flaunt their knowledge. Well, you know what? You notice those same people stay to hell clear out of the moose woods, because their ideologies don't mean bullshit in big country. But you can go down to a little farm lot or create a 200-acre paradise. You might look pretty tall on this earth. Bring them up north. That'll shrink them in a hurry. You think it ain't windy? The decoy's having a hard time staying up there. And it's 70 degrees as I speak right now. But I do know what's wrong. I brought the desert up here. I got my desert camouflage on. Huh. Oh man. Brought the long camouflage, and so the weather followed the camouflage. Oh well. Live and learn. Bobby's going down. Restructure. Myrtle, as he calls it. We were awful debating whether to even hunt tonight. And the wind quits. It changes every 5 seconds. We walked in here, it was dead in our face. Now it's going every which direction. So who knows? Now right now it's in my face. But what blew Myrtle down was out of the east. So it's hard to say. We'll just have to sit back and see what manifests. The wind down here is just swirling from one direction to the other. First the decoy blows from the west to the east, then it gets blown from the east, and you can see it out in that tall grass. It just, there it goes, waving one way, and part of it's headed northwest, and part of it's headed straight east. It's really swirling, coming down. We're down in a hole. And the moose, supposedly, are up high during the day in the dark timber, and then they come down. But that grass is just, like I said, you guys worried about scent control, you're out of your league up here. The only thing you can do is play the wind, and as much exertion as you're going to do, you're not going to keep clean. So don't worry about having the latest, greatest garbage for the white-tailed deer world, because it's not going to work up here. Bob and one of his new toys. We got a change in the weather coming. Clouding up fast, which is a good thing. Probably bring us rain, possibly cooler temperatures for tomorrow anyway. Strange night out, that's for sure. Yeah, for some of you people that are planning on a moose hunt and never been on one, I've been on several hunts in a lot of different provinces in Alaska, and it's all the same. I've never seen herds of moose. And when I get back to the States, people ask me, how many bulls did you see? Well, in reality, probably the first one you see is probably going to be the first one you shoot. So it's not a numbers game. They don't have a moose classic per se every year where people bring in hundreds of moose heads to be scored. Don't happen that way. White-tailed deer is a across-the-board small game, big game. As I read, Teddy Roosevelt said he didn't consider the white-tailed deer being big game because it was so prolific, just like rabbits. And I know everybody's got their own opinion, and that's good, but I'm glad you get to go hunt the deer, don't get me wrong. But there's so much more to hunting than killing. And on these so-called expertise shows and the personalities that are pushing themselves for a buck, a big buck, a white-tailed buck, and a green buck, be a lot open-minded when they're talking. Because you ask them, if they're so good, why don't they go up north and pattern the moose? You know why? Because a moose doesn't have to walk the same trail twice in its life. And that makes it an extremely hard to hunt. So when you go up north, keep that in your portfolio of knowledge, that you're hunting something that may never traverse that same terrain again. So if you get a chance at it, you take it out. Or you let it walk and say you had a chance. But by no means do you think you're going to pattern big game animals, because it don't happen. Only in the so-called big game whitetail world. And that's debatable whether you can pattern them or not either. This whole night's taken on a real something's going to happen feeling. It's like the calm before the storm. Getting all clouded up. You start feeling a change in your gut. It just feels like something's going to move. I feel that in white-tailed deer woods also, or in day-to-day life. As I make my living outdoors, you just get that nervous, uneasy feeling that Something is about to change weather-wise. Here we are Wednesday morning. Did a little raining. Weather ain't been too cooperative with us. But splitting a little wood for coal. Me and Bobby told him he would do that, help the guy out. So just something to do in the downtime to keep your mind off of it, off the hunt. And I haven't been too vocal at all. Haven't heard one in 5 mornings. But so it's been relevantly challenging, to say the least. But that's moose hunting at its best up here. You don't want to think you're going to go out and see a herd of moose and hear them every time you go, because it's really something when you call one in that well, that old log didn't want to split there. Anyhow, like I said, we're just doing this to help Cole out, and there's a nasty piece of wood there. That's about like moose hunting is up there right now. That's slow to split. But we'll get it. We'll get it chopped up. Get it undressed. That's good enough. But basically, we're doing something to keep from being bored. Well, here we are. September 25th, Wednesday night. I got hopefully my good luck charm. The late Jay Massey built this horn with his own hands. That was 26 years ago. And Jay's still in the moose woods. We're going down here to this big lake down here. As I pan around this big country. And we're going to go down to that point down there and see if we can't get a response or something. So off we go down under the bush. Yeah, what I'm doing here right now, moose hunting. Gotta love it. It's raining out with the sun. The sun's out right in my face, and I got a cloud over me that decided to take a pee on me. And it's not real heavy, but then again, there ain't no need to be getting wet either, because you know, you ain't gonna dry out. It's nighttime, so try to keep it as dry as you can. But anyhow, as soon as this little sprinkle gets out of here, we'll get back at it. Blue sky up there, and one cloud goes over you. That's how lucky you are. And here's my netting. It really comes in handy. It don't weigh anything, but if you don't have that netting and you go on a hunt, you never know which way the sun's going to be finding you. So make sure you bring netting along. That way I can sit here and endure without having my eyes blasted out. What I got is a shooting opportunity out through this area right here. You can see that orange flag in the background back there. And that's right at 30 yards. But anyhow, we'll see if Jay's horn still got the spirit, and see if we can call one in. The wind's coming right into our face. Now it should be coming up out of the draw, up on this ridge, up to the high ground. I'll tell you, listen, technology this thermocell I've used out west in irrigation ditches, and all I gotta do is bring this camera up, and you can see all the mosquitoes out there. They're just, without that, you would be in deep doo-doo. And this thermocell technology right here allows me to sit here without going crazier than I already am, trying to maintain with all that insect life going on. Bug free right here. Yeah, finally, clouds got in, blocked that sun out. I would have liked to set up on the other side, but the wind wasn't conducive for that. So you had to set up with the west wind and the sun right in your face. And but that's where that netting came into play. Now, like I say, now you can see. I'll show you. We'll be shooting out there, and I got that orange flag in the distance there. That's about 27 yards out there. So if he comes up out of that basin from the east, coming up this hill, this open hilltop, might be able to get him. But who knows? When I say get him, I don't even know if him is in the county, let alone nearby. Big old black cloud took the sun out. I hope it don't start raining. Boy, I sure hope it don't cut loose raining. It was nice that it came and blocked the sun out. But I just hope it moves off the other way. The sun finally went behind those trees up there. And maybe I had some divine intervention from Jay Massey. He sent the cloud bank in, and it'd been in there for over an hour. And so I didn't need the netting. This next call is going to be for little Donnie. Mommy Moose calling Daddy Moose. Here we go, little Donnie. Mama Moose calling Daddy Moose. There you go, little buddy. Now all we need is the moose to cooperate. Thursday morning. September 26th. about killing, ladies and gentlemen. That is so cool. Guys out walking around wanting to shoot them right now. Here we are looking at them.
We don't have any moose meat. We might have to eat these things.
Yeah. What do you think of that, little Donnie? That's pretty cool.
You're supposed to get that one in the tree there.
Weather has not been the best up here to hunt moose. And it's been really warm. And this is Thursday, the 26th. The other day, I was working on that pile of firewood, and with the help of Bob, we teamed up and got it all cut, stacked, and there was quite a bit of wood there to cut up and stack. But like I said, we're going to go out and hunt tonight, Thursday night, the 26th. That'll be the last night. And there's just no vocalization or anything going on in the woods. And so it's really hard to tell where they're at or get a grasp for what it is. But at least we got that firewood all cleaned up and ready for winter. This is the last night. Wind's coming right into the camera. Less than 3 hours left. 2.5. And that puts a wrap on it. Well, we didn't have any luck moose hunting. The weather wasn't the best, to say the least. Awful warm and awful windy. So just never heard any burping or any cow calling for basically 6 nights. So that's gonna put a wrap on it, on moose hunt. But never gone. Let's say the wind's blowing and it won't quit blowing, so there ain't no use. We're pretty deep in the bush. We might as well get a head start. So that's it from Non-Typical.